Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Emma. It's been a long time, or at least a while, that I haven't uploaded a video, and I think I am losing it took me really a long time to just put everything together, so I am losing a little bit the rhythm that I had while I was just uploading videos here. But today I just want to show you guys how I plan for our homeschool year. We started already, so this video is coming a little bit late, but I upload, or hopefully by the time you guys watch this video, I have uploaded already just the beginning of our homeschool, how we plan our homeschool, and I just want to continue with that. So this is pretty much part 2 of how I plan for our homeschool year. This year is a little bit different because usually I start during the month of July, the end of July, and I decided to start on August 10, which is almost pretty much like the public school. And I did that because I minimized the amount of materials that we were using in here in our homeschool. I changed a lot of the materials, and I kept a lot of them that we worked with them already. It was working very well with us, and we were about to finish. So what we're doing is pretty much finishing those materials and starting with the new ones. In order for me to do that, I had to take a really good time just planning for our homeschool year. I even changed the planners that I was using previously, and I did some purchases that I might regret already, but that I am going to be using at least for this year, and some of them that are going to move towards the next year, hopefully. I want to start by just saying the planners that I purchased. So I purchased around 4 planners. No, I am not crazy. No, I don't know what I was thinking at that moment. I didn't think this through, obviously. But I purchased 4 planners. And I am using, from those 4 planners, just 2 of them, and one that I purchased at the last minute. So let's bear with me. The reason for that is that since we are going towards new materials, new programs, and we have to adapt to those programs, the planners that I chose from the beginning, when I thought that we were going to continue with the same programs that we were using, was not going to be working no more. And I am just trying to adapt and adjust. From those planners, I will be showing you guys just probably 2 to 3 planners, and the last one I will just use for the upcoming year, just so we can use the planner because it's an undated planner. Now, I did this not for you guys to go and purchase 4 planners, obviously, but just to show you guys as well the different ways that you can plan for your homeschool. And I purchased as well one that is online, and it was going to be something new for me. I am saying this because I feel like when I purchased that planner in particular, I was going to be able to work well with it. I had an idea already of how I wanted things. Now, when you go and purchase something like that, even if they give you that period of time for you to try out, that period of time is not enough, because it doesn't allow you to purchase things and then return those things. So that planner in particular requires for you to, or not requires, but at least if you want to make your life a little bit more easy, requires for you to purchase the scope and sequence and kind of like the lesson plan for that particular program that you're using, or curriculum. And that's what I did. So now I feel like I am forced to use that planner, and I was not going to be able to just do a return just because I had already purchased a few of the curriculum lesson plans. So I am going to try to do my best, but probably for the upcoming year, I am not going to be using that planner unless I feel like I adjust very well, because I feel like it is a little bit on the expensive side, even though it's giving you a lot, and I understand that, but I feel like it is very expensive if you're going to be paying that yearly or monthly. I think it's kind of quite a lot. Anyways, these planners that I am using are a little bit more on the simple side, and I think that is the reason why it's working so well. I will show you too the planner that my son is using and how we're using that planner. That is something else. So that's another planner add on top of the planners that I purchased for myself. And I am going to show you as well the websites that I use when I am going to be grabbing those calendars and those basic planning pages, just to give me an idea on how I am going to be working during the homeschool year. I still use a notebook just to plan with more detailed things, but you're going to see how my brain is processing all the things that we have to do and how I am trying to just work with the amount of materials that we have in here in our homeschool. So just bear with me. I will be just switching the camera because I think that will be best. I think you will have a good view of what I am adding on the planner and the notes and everything I am using, and the reasons why am I using that and why I planned our homeschool year in this way. During the course of the homeschool year, I am going to be uploading videos where I will just share with you guys the changes and processes that we are taking when it comes to plan for our homeschool. I did other things to kind of help me out during the homeschool year. One of those things is that I did the grocery ahead of time, meaning I purchased everything that I was going to need for that week just to keep us calm and ahead with things, because I work outside, so it makes things a little bit more complicated. I do as well car schooling, a lot of car schooling, and it's something that obviously takes time, takes adjustment, takes for you to adapt materials, takes for you to actually create a good plan. It's not your typical car schooling materials where you just take maybe a game or two, or you have your all your subjects online and you're just working with that. No, we are actually going through the books while we are car schooling because I work outside. We are adapting ourselves to work with some programs online, and that is something that is new to us. Yes, we always had one here and there, like the story of the world. Sorry. The story of the world, that we use the audio as well. We use Apologia's Science. We tend to use sometimes the audio with the book, but now we are adding Master Books Biology, which we're using the videos. I decided to purchase the Master Books Academy for his biology, and it's been very helpful. And I am using as well still the remaining of the Apologia that we're finishing, and I am using the audio for the story of the world that we're using, plus our audio for Speedy Spanish that is coming. Not that we need so much that, but I think that since the lessons, some of the lessons just suggest for you to use the audio and actually ask for the audio. Even though I speak Spanish and I can do that very well for him, I think I want to purchase that because I want him to get the extra practice. So the times that I am not with him, he can still practice his Spanish, so he's able to remember what he's learning. He knows already the basics. He understands a lot. And we are just refining what he knows already so we can move on towards the most difficult things when it comes to learning Spanish, okay? Now I am going to switch the camera and show you guys how I am doing this. Okay, you guys, so hopefully you guys can see this well. You guys have a good view, but usually I use this notebook to do everything that has to do with our homeschool. This is a 5-star med notebook. Let me just go through here. But usually this is the type of book that I use. This is a graphic notebook, and I tend to use these to plan our homeschool year. If you notice in here, I just add the core subjects, how we were going to work with them. And this is where I do our rough draft of how our homeschool year is going to be looking. So in here I have the core subjects. For me, Bible is a core subject. So language, arts, math, and science, correct? And we know that by language, arts, English, it includes the reading, the writing, the spelling, the literature, all of that. And then I have in here what I was going to consider as a looping schedule, which was history, Spanish, art, YouTube, financial literacy, and video editing. And I add in here how many times we were supposed to touch that subject during the week. So we have in here history times 3, and Spanish times 3, and art times 2, YouTube times 2, and so forth for the rest of them. Financial literacy and video editing, if you notice, I don't have a specific amount of time just because we haven't started with those yet, because he's still finishing fixed grammar from the previous year. And we are still finishing some of the subjects that are coming from the previous year, okay? When we're looking here, we're looking at what we are going to be doing as well for a regular schedule. So we have Intro to Logic, Traditional Spelling, Fixed Grammar, BGU English 5, Story of the World, Volume 3, Denison Pre-Algebra, and Matthew C. Epsilon, which are coming from the previous year, and that's why you're seeing them in here. If you notice, I have in here around how many credits he's going to be earning for that year with the different subjects, and that is the reason why you're seeing this page. Now, I am using other materials. Let me just add my pencil. Let me actually put my pencil pouch in here. And here I have what I am using now for our planner, and it's this one that I have in here. I will give you a good view in just a second. And I am using as well my teacher binder. And bear with me, guys, I am using this planner as well, not as often as I am using this one in here. And add to that what I am going to be using for the homeschool planner online, which is Homeschool Planet. I am trying to see if I get used to it and we are able to use it just for this year, just to try. And I am using these two planners as well. So with that being said, I am going to start showing you guys some of the things that I have in this planner. Let me just skip a few pages in here and let's go to the point. Let me see right here. Okay. So here I have our schedule, our calendar, and the days that we're going to be off, the days that we're going to be doing homeschool, and the days for our test. Everything that we need to know will be in here for the days that we have to be working. We have our quarters marked already when we're going to reach each quarter, the end of each quarter. And in here I have a rough draft of our weekly schedule. So let me just twist this one. Let me see what I have next. Okay. Here I have, maybe if I just remove the binder for a second. So here I have the schedule. And in here, if you notice, I have how many subjects for each day. So 9 subjects we're covering on Monday. 9 subjects we're covering on Tuesday. 9 subjects as well for Wednesday. 8. 8 for Thursday and 3 for Friday. So Friday is our easy day. And actually I wanted to have it as a free day, but I think since some of the materials that we are working with require a 5-day, I will just like to keep it like that so we are able to finish for the end of the homeschool year. So in here I have Bible, and I did add 6:30 in the morning because we wake up very early since I have to go to work. But this sometimes happens like around 7, sometimes a little bit early than that. So it's just an overall idea on when we have to start Bible. Then we have at 10:30 to 11:20, we have language arts. And this happens 5 days. You see that Bible is just 4 days. On Friday, we have Bible is just praying, memory verses, and his journal for Bible. For traditional spelling, we are covering traditional spelling 4 days of the week, and this is usually happens around 11:25 to 12:40, and sometimes it happens after that, depends on how I take my breaks. Here I have at 8:30 a.m. This is Denison Pre-Algebra. This usually is happening now a little bit later than that, but Denison Pre-Algebra is 5 days a week. The same for science, 5 days a week, and he's starting with his master books from with his biology from master books, and he's doing the master book academy to help with that sometimes when I cannot just be with him, and he can work a little bit more independently. And in here I have Story of the World, 3 days a week. Now for Story of the World, since we are still on volume 3, I have him working with the Story of the World a little bit more. So usually we do 4 days, but the days that we do 3, that is just fine. So that is not a problem. I just want to make sure that we're covering history. As well, Spanish is happening 3 days, even though I have it in here for 2 days. But minimum, I would like to see if we can just go through Spanish 2 times a day. But usually we're trying to cover it 3 to 4 days during the week. And Fix the Grammar, we are working with Fix the Grammar 4 days a week, and usually it happens around 7:15 a.m. So we are just really trying to see if we can cover as much as we can to try to finish the programs that are coming from the previous year, like traditional spelling, Fix the Grammar, because once we finish those, he will have more time for the rest of the subjects, and he will have more time for what he wants to do, meaning his subjects that are more for things that he likes, that he enjoys. We are doing cooking and we are doing as well art. Art goes on a looping schedule, and cooking, he has his cooking day for Friday, and I will be giving him a credit for that. So on Fridays, I don't have to cook. He is the one that is going to be cooking. I am obviously next to him to just show him and teach him the things that he's going to be doing. I plan ahead the menu that he's going to be doing for that day. And sometimes he just plans that himself. He already has an idea of what he wants to do, and he just lets me know so I can just purchase what we need for that day that he's going to be cooking. Okay, so that is how our schedule so far is going. Obviously, if you notice, we've been just adjusting and changing some things to see how that works for our homeschool year. Now, bringing back this binder, and sorry that I am just talking a little bit weird. It's because my nose for some reason is a little bit clogged, and I am just not having a good time with that. I think it's the season already changing, and usually I get those seasonal allergies, so bear with me. But in here I have all the things that I need for to help me out when we are doing homeschool, and just to keep me on track with things. I am always checking on these to see if we are doing well or if not. Okay, so that's why I have this binder with all of these materials. Okay, anyway, now I am going to show you what I am using now for a planner, and this is something that I decide to do at the last minute as something that will help me be a little bit more relaxed when it comes to making sure that I am staying accountable and consistent with what we have to do here in our homeschool. So you're going to see that it's very simple, it's nothing fancy, and it's something that I decided to do just because of that reason. We are doing a lot of car schooling. This is easy for me to carry around. It's not too thick, but it's thick enough, and it has just this little string to mark, and it was very inexpensive. It's a hardcover, and I like how simple it is. I like the simplicity of this system, and I think it was going to be really good to keep me again accountable with the things that I have to do. Okay, my light is kind of going because it's thundering. It's about to rain and it's lightning, so bear with me. I am going to keep showing you guys. So here I have this type of planner. It is very simple. If you notice, it has the month of the year on the top, and then you can mark the days. And what I like is that I just can add everything, and then as we are working with the materials, I can just add the pages and things like that, almost like reverse planning, but not exactly. So hopefully you guys can see that. Let's see if I can just, you can see that better. So we start with the morning time, which is Bible. We do our Bible on Mondays, and then we continue with the rest of the materials, but we always cover Bible early in the morning, and then we cover Introduction to Logic, which we are pretty much finishing. We are on the last chapters. I think there's like 2 or 3 chapters left, and we're done. That's what we left from the previous year. Sorry about the thundering. And usually we take 7 hours, but with 15 to 30 minutes in between each of the subjects. That's how it's been working very well for us, and we feel like it gives us a good time. And as well, we get our lunch. If you notice in here, I have a period where we get our lunch right here. I leave that space there with no time, because it's around the time for lunch that we are going to be taking a good amount of time. Okay, and so forth like that for the rest of the days that we've been schooling. So we finish an entire week. If you notice, our Fridays are very light again, and he's doing cooking, which I have to add what he did for cooking. And that's Friday for us, very light compared to the rest of the days where we have quite a lot of materials to cover. And this is because he's still working with some of the materials from the previous year. Now, once he's done with that, he will have a big amount of time that he will have pretty much free to take care of those subjects that he enjoys, that are of his choices, and as well to add some of the materials that were supposed to be for this year, but we are just retaining them just because we have to finish with the ones from the previous year. We do like to finish the curriculum here and in my homeschool, and I feel like that's how it's been working very well for us, and how I feel like he's retaining very well the information. And I feel that now, since we're simplifying and having less materials, he will be able to retain better. He did very well on his standardized test, like very, very well. And I am very proud of him and of everything that he accomplished, and see that he is actually taking that information and retaining the information. So once he finished with those other materials that are coming from the previous year, we are going to be adding little by little then financial literacy, and we are already adding art, so that is not something that is just waiting aside, is already being added. But once he finishes his YouTube course, which he is about to finish as well, then we will start video editing for this homeschool year, and you see everything will be moving, and he will not have that many amount of materials to do just at once. If you notice, one day already is being very busy, and I feel like he will have that time to just breathe as well. Myself as a teacher, to just being able to take the time to plan during the weekends and just take it easy and not feel like I am rushed. Okay, so this is what I am using on a daily basis. This is my planner. And this is when we're doing as well car schooling. This is a good planner for that. Now I have this planner that I purchased as well. This is the pretty one. This is the fancy, so to speak. And in this planner, I manage as well my home. So this is homeschool and my home, okay? And in here, I purchased these, very inexpensive. I love the colors. I love the patterns. I love that it comes with the stickers that are helpful. And I like that it has the holidays, and I can mark the calendar. And if I go towards the first, let me just skip something in here because I have appointments and things in here. If you notice, I haven't added that much. And the reason why I haven't added that much in this planner, I am going to be adding the subjects and everything, but this is going to come more after I've been working with this one, and I have already the routine of this one. And I will be adding everything in here very well organized. And this is the one that I'm going to be using probably when I am going to present it to his evaluator for his portfolio, just because it has a big amount of space, and it still will be very colorful, very presentable and organized. I might be able to even show her this one as well, so she knows how we've been doing things here in the homeschool. It's just more simple and easy maybe for her to look, but this is the one that I was planning on using, and I like that it has at the end and at the beginning, at the end it has graphic paper, so I can just add some pictures in here and just memories on how this month is been going, and then somewhere to add more information about how that month is going to be going, or what I am expecting for this upcoming month. And this is on every page, so usually I put in here maybe, or here, it depends. Sometimes I just switch the layout, but I just add a Bible verse, something to inspire me and motivate me for that month, and then at the end on the graphic one is that I am adding the memories or things that we have been doing. Goodness, I cannot talk today. That we have been doing for that week, for the homeschool year, for that month. And it just continues like that for the rest of the planner. And at the end of the planner, it has this folder with this pocket, and it has just more graphic paper, just one, and it has this string And I like as well that it has this cover, which is pretty hard, and that it has the stickers. It comes with the stickers, and it has a lot of space for you to add information. And even though it says that it's 2027, it starts with the last few months of the 2026 and then continues to 2027. And this is how I am using our planners and how I am able to keep myself accountable and consistency with what we've been doing in here in our homeschool. I am going to be showing you guys a little bit more of what we do for our subjects and things like that, so stay tuned. These videos are coming. Don't go anywhere, because I am going to keep uploading and showing you guys how we've been working and what I am doing to prepare myself for these high school years, and just to prepare my kid to be able to get ready for his more advanced subjects and things that he's going to be doing during his high school years. He's a freshman. I am very excited. I am very happy. I have to show you guys as well some of the materials that I purchased for this homeschool year. I purchased some materials. I want to share that with you, and how I decide to prepare ourselves for this homeschool year. And since we knew that we were going to do a lot of car schooling, so that is coming. Stay tuned, because I will bring you that information. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Let me know how things are being working for you guys. If you started already with your homeschool year, if you purchased something new, something to help you in your homeschool, just share with me down below, and I will see you then. Bye.